Hey everyone, this is Matt Prez with Converge, and today we're going to be taking a look at sketch blocks. We're going to carry on our sketch block series talking about blocks in drawings. We've already created a detailed drawing using our motorcycle engine and we turned that into a block, but today we're going to focus on something a little bit different. To get started, we're going to create a new drawing file, and I'm going to use the standard ANSI landscape template. I'm not going to insert any model views, and the first thing that I want to do is right click and I want to turn on my layers. This is just the way that I'm going to access layers. If you use layers all the time and you access it somewhere else, that's fine. You don't have to follow specifically along with what I'm doing. The two different tasks that we want to talk about here is creating a note, saving it as a block in just the drawing itself, but also saving it into the sheet format so it can be reused over and over again. So the first thing that I like to do is I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to call this new layer Note. The reason I like to do this is I'm going to change that layer to a red color or any other color and say OK. Now Note is my active layer. I'm going to go to my Annotation tab and create a new note. I'm going to have this say Caution, Drawing Under Review. Of course, there are many different ways to do this, and the actual text in this note doesn't matter. But what we want to understand is, one, we're making a note that's a different color, it's red in this case, and we're going to save this out as a block. Because we don't need to apply more of these notes, I'm going to hit Escape on the keyboard. From here, I'm going to select the note, and I'm going to go to my Blocks dropdown and select Make Block. We can change the insertion point, but by default, it'll be in the lower left-hand corner of that text box. I'm going to say OK, and now what we've done is we've created this blocks folder that's at the top of our drawing, and you can see here it's just called block 1. What I want to do is I want to reinsert this block into this drawing and into other drawings. So if I want to save it externally, I can select it, go to my blocks drop down and select Save Block. I'm going to call this one under Review, and this can contain really just about anything. We can have text, we can have images, we can have, for example, a cross-sectional image that you want to use over and over again in a detailed drawing. We can contain all this inside of a block. So as long as it has the correct elements, if it's text or if it's sketch lines or sketch entities, then we can keep this information contained within this block. So now that we've saved this externally, what do we do with it? So I'm going to rebuild the file real quick so that way I don't have any rebuild icons in the tree. And now I want to look at putting this into my sheet format. In order to do that, I need to first edit the sheet format. So I'm going to right click on sheet 1 and select Edit Sheet Format. Now I've gone one level deeper into my detailed drawing, and if you're not familiar with drawings and you've never really gone in and edited a sheet format before, there's lots of great information in here. You'll notice that a few things pop up, such as this $, PRP sheet, and then it says material, PRP sheet finish. So what these are is going to be linked properties, and they're linked properties to default properties inside of SolidWorks. If you have a design, you set the material to steel. It'll automatically populate this with steel. Over here we have the description, draw for, we have the weight, we have the scale, we have some other information. If we zoom in, you can see that behind here we have the number for the sheet. So this information is, again, it's very important, it's very critical, and it can be linked to your designs. And there's all kinds of different things that we can do to link those, but again, that's sort of outside of the focus of sketch blocks. So now that we're in the sheet format, you'll notice the caution note that we created is not here. It's because it's up one extra level back in the drawing. But we can still insert a block, and I'm going to go to Blocks and Insert Block. Because this is already in the file, it automatically populates. It's in that folder that's inside of our tree. I'm going to bring it down here. I'm going to place it in this box, and then I'm going to hit Escape because I only need to insert one. Now if I use the icon at the upper right hand corner, I can get back into my drawing, or I can right click on Sheet and I can go to Edit Sheet instead of editing the sheet properties. So now you can see this block is here, and then we've got one in the sheet format that I can't select because, again, it's down an extra layer. So we can use these blocks as common notes that we want to insert into multiple drawings, and we can also place them inside of our sheet format if we want to populate a bunch of information. Now, the notes in the sheet format don't necessarily have to be directly in the title block. If we edit the sheet format one more time, and let's say that we insert another block, and we use the same one, we simply put it up in the upper right hand corner, we hit escape. I can come into Sketch and I can do things like create lines in here. And once I'm done, I can go ahead and exit out of here. Now this information, again, it's not selectable because it's down one level in that sheet format. It contains my block and it contains some extra sketch entities on this note level that are now red. So from here, there are a couple things that we can do. We can go to File, and we can go to Save Sheet Format. So I'm going to call this one Landscape with Note because I'm not really going to use it for anything, but just as a possible option for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and save the sheet format out. Then I'm going to start a new drawing. Now, if you're comfortable with making your own drawing templates, your own part templates, and your own assembly templates, you'll probably know that you can create a custom title block, you can create a custom sheet format, and you can save that out as a drawing template. So that way those notes are there all the time. But let's say you start a new drawing and you really want to use that drawing sheet template and you want to use that format you saved that has the blocks in it. Well, we can right click on Sheet, we can go to its properties, and then we can navigate for the sheet format. So here I'm going to use that A Landscape with Note, say OK, and apply the changes. So now the changes have taken over. It's using the sheet format that I edited with these blocks and I saved. And now you can see that we have, again, this information that's contained here. And I can right click on Sheet, I can edit the sheet format, and I can go down another level and begin manipulating it if I need to. Move the sketch lines around, move the text around, I can remove information, I can use some of the other tools such as linking it to a custom property. These are all things that we can do directly in here. So I'm going to again exit this one more time. Again, from annotations, I can go to blocks and insert. And this block, again, it's in this drawing. It's active because now it's in the sheet format. I can easily apply it. But what if it wasn't in this specific drawing? If we create a new blank drawing, again, we're not using the sheet format this time. And let's say I want to add that note. Well, again, I can just go to Insert Block, and it's not here now, but I can browse for it, and it's going to be in the location of where we last saved it. So here we have Under Review. This is the Under Review SLD BLK or SolidWorks block. We say Open, and now again we can place it in this file. We can do whatever we need to with it. So again, this was a very simple example, just creating text and applying it as a sketch block to the sheet format or just in the drawing itself. But this functionality can be extremely handy if you need to make custom tables or custom information that gets utilized over and over again in drawings. You don't have to retype it every time. You can either create it as a block and insert it into the drawing when you need it. You can create it as a block and insert it into the sheet format, or of course you could just type the text into the sheet format, then save the sheet format externally. Now this is by no means the end of sketch blocks. There's more that we can do with sketch blocks in assemblies and simulation and motion studies, and there's even more that we can do in detailed drawings. But this is a great starting point and a way that you can start using these sketch blocks, utilizing the technology to just repurpose this information and not have to type in the same thing over and over again. But as always, if you guys have any questions about this topic or anything that we've covered, please let us know, reach out, and we're happy to help and cover anything that you guys want to see.